Oh, and here's one more piece of key art. You might want to pay extra close attention to this one.
There's a lot that's being shown in it. So much so that we debated whether or not to actually put it in the announced trailer.
Much like how the 4th entry deviated from conventional zombies, the 8th entry looks to do the same thing. Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 things we know about Resident Evil Village. For this list, we'll be looking at the most exciting information that has been revealed about Capcom's upcoming Resident Evil sequel.
Let's take a look at the inventory. For players familiar with Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, or the recent versions of Resident Evil 2 and 3, you'll be right at home.
Number 10. RE Engine. Debuting in 2017's Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, the RE Engine has been a hit for Capcom and will be used for the next main entry in the horror series. Since its debut, the RE Engine has proven itself to be a powerful and versatile gaming engine, as shown through the photorealistic visuals and fantastic lighting in the Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes. The RE Engine was also used for Devil May Cry 5, demonstrating that it can handle more dynamic and action-oriented gameplay. With the RE Engine, Resident Evil Village's environments should look amazing and hopefully unsettling. Number 9. Beastmen/Werewolves. In the lead-up to Capcom's reveal trailer, rumors circulated that the 8th Resident Evil game could feature a couple of monsters that deviate from the franchise's trademark zombies, and that seems to be the case. Capcom's trailer highlights a couple of unique creatures, including a beast that appears to be a werewolf. Very little is known about the nature of these monsters, but werewolves would present a welcome change from Resident Evil's established formula. There is a precedent for this type of beast in the Resident Evil universe, as a werewolf was featured in 1998's Wolf Hunt comic story. Number 8. Snowy Mountain Setting. Following the Raccoon City-centric remakes and the more restrictive 7th entry, Resident Evil Village will change things up with a snow-covered environment set in what seems to be the mountains. Similar to Resident Evil 4, Capcom's upcoming game looks to teleport players to a more familiar setting, one that feels almost like it should exist in the 1800s rather than the present day.
Yet determined to find the berries, the rascal broke free of Mother's grasp and vanished into the trees.
An isolated location featuring rustic cabins, oil lamps, and monsters that appear to have a mythical edge, Resident Evil Village's setting looks promising and could very well prove to be among the best in the franchise.
Mother's worried cries faded fast as the girl ran on, over vine, under branch, and into the forest deep.
Number 7. First-person gameplay.
No! Friendly.
After the success of Resident Evil 7, Capcom has understandably decided to retain certain elements that work to the game's favor. The news that Resident Evil would adopt a first-person perspective was initially polarizing, but it did prove to be a great choice for 2017's game.
There's no escape, city boy!
Resident Evil Village will maintain the same angle as its predecessor and its 2 DLC campaigns, as it seeks to provide a similarly intimate horror experience. At the moment, it seems like Capcom will be using the first-person camera for new games, while leaving third-person for spin-offs and remakes. Number 6. A castle. While a specific country has yet to be announced, Resident Evil Village's trailer indicates a European setting. Amidst the mountains and towering over the decrepit village, there is a massive castle that will presumably serve as one of the game's central locations.
The team is working really hard to create a great experience. You can really see the details, even close up.
The castle has a slightly gothic aesthetic to it, something that is only enhanced by the fact that it is shrouded in fog in the trailer. Through its European-esque setting, the antiquated village, and the castle, Capcom's upcoming title gives off strong Resident Evil 4 vibes. Naturally, that is a very good thing. Number 5. Resident Evil Village. This is a case of, it isn't Resident Evil 8, but it is, if that makes sense. While the majority of the previous entries just slapped on a number and called it a day, the 8th entry was announced as Resident Evil Village, not Resident Evil 8 Village.
You can even see the Roman numeral 8 in the game logo, so it's Resident Evil 8, just not in name.
Subtitles are not unheard of for the franchise, and producer Tsuyoshi Kanda stated that the game is still being treated as if it were the 8th mainline entry in the series, just not in name. Going by the title, the village should be the main setting of the game rather than just one stop in a long journey. Number 4. Chris Redfield is coming back.
Chris? Sorry, Ethan.
A recurring character in the franchise, Chris Redfield will play a part in Resident Evil Village, although the trailer suggests a different side of the heroic agent will be highlighted.
And Lucas Baker? Right now, he's our only link to the connections.
He's next on my list.
Chris showed up at the end of Resident Evil 7 and was the main protagonist of the Not a Hero DLC, which saw the BSAA agent assisting Blue Umbrella to investigate the Baker home. Village's trailer shows an older, larger, and colder Redfield, one who shoots Mia without showing an inkling of hesitation. The scene's context will reveal whether Redfield has taken a villainous turn.
Why?
Number 3. Witches. As werewolves and zombies are too easy, Resident Evil Village might also include witches. Capcom's trailer prominently features a trio of female characters who seem to have a taste for blood and shapeshifting, although it is difficult to tell exactly what these beings are meant to be. A leak that came out of the game's reveal speculated that a witch capable of transforming into insects would be included, and Capcom's trailer suggests that might be the case. While Village seems soaked in mysticism, the witches and werewolves are liable to have an in-universe scientific explanation, similar to the mold that allowed Resident Evil 7's Marguerite to control insects.
This is for messing around in places you ain't supposed to!
Number 2. Ethan Winters is a playable character.
Who sent you? What's going on? They're coming. Who is?
After barely surviving the Baker family and the Molded in Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, Ethan flew off into the sunset with Mia, hoping to never see another monster again.
It'll be fine. After we make it, we can get out of here. Together.
Unfortunately for Ethan, Resident Evil and one-time protagonists do not generally mix, so the franchise's most average hero will be a playable character in the next entry in the series. With the exception of Chris Redfield in the 5th and 6th games, Resident Evil's numbered entries rarely use the same protagonist in back-to-back titles. As such, Ethan is quite a unique character.
You're gonna die in this hole, and you're gonna like it! Why won't you just stay down?
Want more video game content? Check out our gaming channel Mojo Plays and discover games and ideas you never knew existed. With more lists, breakdowns, and our latest series, Arcade Roulette.
Justin and John are in!
Oh.
Hey, is that Porky Pig? There's a lot of things being ripped off in this game.
Number 1. PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC.
First off, Resident Evil Village will be available on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and Steam.
As Capcom announced Resident Evil Village during Sony's PlayStation 5 reveal event, it was hardly a surprise that the survival horror game was confirmed as a next-generation title. It is rumored that excessive pop-in and long load times led to Village being announced only for the PS5, Microsoft's Xbox Series X, and Windows.
We were able to take all that we learned from those titles, along with our internal development efforts, and optimize the latest version of the engine for the next generation of consoles.
At the moment, Village is expected to drop sometime in 2021, which will be within the first year of the next console generation's lifespan. All things considered, the 8th console generation was great for Capcom's flagship property, and hopefully, Resident Evil Village will keep that momentum going into the next era.
We are aiming to have more to show you towards the end of summer.
So, until next time.
In the mood for more awesome gaming content? Be sure to check out this video here on Mojo Plays. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.